Good morning students. I am going to handle power system analysis. In unit 1, this PPT in this class we are going to see the first part of the unit 1, that is need for system planning and operational studies, power scenario in India, power system components, representation, single line diagram, per unit quantities, per unit impedance diagram, per unit reactance diagram. So next, so this is the structure of the power systems. This is a general structure of the power systems. Here it is classified into three types. The first one is generation station, second one is transmission station, third one is distribution station. So the transmission station gets classified into primary transmission and secondary transmission. Distribution station gets classified into primary distribution and secondary distributions. So coming to the generating stations, the power is getting generated from the power station as 11 kilovolt. Then for transmission purpose using step-up transformer, this 11 kilovolt voltage gets boosted to 220 kilovolt. Then using step-down transformer on the receiving side, it gets further step down to the voltage up to 333 kilovolt by using step-down transformer. Then coming to the transmission side, this 33 kilovolt voltage is transferred and it is termed as secondary transmission. Then coming to the distribution side, it is classified into two types, primary distribution and secondary distributions. The primary distribution actually covers the step down transformer in which 33 kilovolt gets stepped down to the 6.6 kilovolt, and it is supplied to large bulk loads like factories, industries. This comes under primary distributions. Next, using the distribution substations, the distribution transformer, further the 6.6 kilovolt get stepped down to 4 volt or 230 volt. This 400 volt and 230 volt supply voltage are useful for home appliances. Comes under secondary distributions. Further, the power gets distributed to consumers, servicemen, and distributors. So this is about the general structure of the power system. Next, components of the power systems. There are four basic components of the power systems: generators, transformers, transmission line, control equipment. The generator converts mechanical energy to the electrical energy. Transformers, it transfers power or energy from one circuit to another circuit without change in the frequency. Next, transmission line transfers power from one place to the other place. Control equipment, it is used for the protection purpose. So this is about the components of the power systems. Next, power system analysis. So what does mean by power system analysis? The evaluation of power system is called as power system analysis. What is the function of the power system analysis? The five basic points which comes under the function of power system analysis. The first one is to monitor the voltage at various buses, real and reactive power flow between buses. Second one, to design the circuit breaker. Third one, to plan future expansion of the existing system. Fourth point, to analyze the system under different fault conditions. Fifth point, to study the ability of the system for small and large scale disturbances. So this comes under stability study of the power system analysis. So we can classify the power system analysis into four major types. First, to monitor the voltage at various buses, real and reactive power flow between the buses. Next one, based on the fault, to rectify or break the circuit and protect the circuit. The circuit breakers are installed in all the components of the power systems. And then for a future expansion, that is if 11 kilovolt is there and we have to expand our requirements based upon the consumer side up to 220 kilovolt. So all this expansion of the existing systems comes under the analysis, under the topic analysis, which is called as power system analysis. Any fault, that is in power systems, the faults are classified at line to line fault, line to ground fault, three phase fault, single phase fault. So all this comes under the analysis of the systems under the fault conditions. And for fifth point is to study the ability of the systems for small and large scale disturbances, that is called as stability studies. Next one, next topic is need for system planning and operational studies. First point is total power generation is equal to total demand plus losses. Second one, when this relationship is satisfied, it gives good economy and security of the systems. Third point, the system must be reliable and should be uninterrupted. Fourth one, the constant voltage and frequency has to be maintained throughout the operation of the power system. Next one, we have to plan for the future expansion. So this all comes under need for system planning and operational studies. Next one, power scenario in India. The National Electric Grid in India has an installed capacity of 370.348 gigawatt as of 30 June 2020. So this is the current updation of the installed capacity of the power systems according to the National Electric Grid power scenario in India. The next one is power production. The power production, it is classified into three major sectors: central sector, state sector and private sector. For central sector, its power is about 93,477 megawatt and its total production percentage is about 25.2%. State sector, its power extraction is about 1,03,322. Its percentage total production is about 28. Private sector, its power extraction is about 1,73,549 and its percentage of total production of the power is about 47%. So altogether the total power production in terms of megawatt is 3,70,348. Coming to the next one. So based upon the fuel, the power extractions and percentage of the total power can be classified as thermal. So based upon the fuel, thermal power, coal, lignite, gas, diesel, hydro, nuclear, MNRE, Ministry of New and Renewable Energy. So in the second column, the power extraction is represented in terms of megawatt. Third column, it is about the percentage of the total production of the power. The total power extraction is about 3,70,348 megawatt. So the next one is this tabular column represents the consumer and percentage of consumption of the power. So for industrial purpose, it's about 41% consumption. For residential purpose, it is about 25% consumption. For others, it is about 13% consumption. The losses is about 21%. So this is the symbol representation in the power system. So the first one is ammeter. Second one, bus duct. This symbol is control power transformer. Fourth one is current transformer with connected ammeter. Fifth one is with battery. Sixth one is capacitor. Seventh one is current transformer. Eighth one is delta connection. The next slide. Ninth one is high voltage fused interrupter switch. The next one is high medium voltage drawout circuit breaker. So next one is key interlock. This one is load center or panel board. This one is high voltage unfused interrupter switch. This one is indicator lamp. This one is lightning or surge arrestor. This one is mechanical interlock. This is normally closed contact. Next one is power or distribution transformer. Next one is protective relays connected to current transformer through device number. So next one is resistor or heater. This one is normally open contact switch. This 50 represents protective relay switch with the device number. Next symbol is for reactor. This one is, last one is shielded isolation transformer. So next PPT. This one is total transformer or potential transformer symbol. This one is Y connection solid grounded neutral. This symbol represents Y connection resistor grounded neutral. The last one is zero sequence transformer. So this symbol represents generator and motor. For generator, the EMF is denoted, represented in the diagram. So EG, that is EMF of the generator along with XS, this is a reactor in secondary side. So EM represents the EMF value of the motor, XS about reactors, the IA is about armature current and VT is the terminal voltage. So So this is about 2 and 3 winding transformer. For 2 winding transformer, the supply primary side voltage is represented as V1, secondary side voltage across the load is represented as V2, and Z is the impedance of the 2 winding transformer. Next, for 3 winding transformer, the winding is classified as primary impedance and secondary impedance and tertiary impedance. The voltage across the primary impedance is represented as V of P. Voltage across secondary impedance is represented as V of S, and tertiary impedance is represented as V of T. Next slide. What is bus in power system? So bus is the meeting point of various components in the power system. At some buses, power will be injected into the network. At other buses, power will be drawn out by the loads. Power injections and extractions may happen at the same bus. So this is a single line diagram, which is a diagrammatic representations of a power system, in which components are represented by their symbols and interconnections between them are shown by the straight line. The ratings and the impedance of the components are also marked in the single line diagram. Next one is single line diagram representation example. So this diagram consists of generators, sending end step up transformer, transmission line, receiving end step down transformer, load. So per unit value of any quantity is defined as the ratio of the actual quantity of any quantity to the base value of the same quantity as a decimal. So its formula is per unit is equal to actual value divided by base value. Next one is advantage of per unit systems. First one point, per unit data representation yields valuable relative magnitude information. Circuit analysis of systems containing transformers of various information ratios is greatly simplified. So this is the formula which we have seen already. Per unit value of any quantity. This quantity may be a voltage or current or power. It is the ratio of actual value of the quantity to the base value of the same quantity, which is expressed as decimal. And this one is example. And this is the equivalent per unit power system reactance diagram. So here in the previous single line diagram, we have what are the components: generator, transformer, transmission line, and load. So all these components are represented in terms of impedance format. So for generator, EMF along with the reactor. For sending in transformer, we have two sides, primary side and secondary side. So primary side sending in and receiving in, it is represented with impedance, and the center part is a core part. So it is represented separately. Next, the transmission line system is represented in terms of pi representations. So we have a transmission line, T representation and pi representation, and here for this per unit system power systems impedance diagram, we have to represent the transmission line as pi form. Then receiving end transformer, we have primary secondary side impedance, and the central port core port is for the receiving end transformer. Next to load. So load it should be variable and should be always indicated with an arrow mark followed by the reactor symbol. So this is the example of the power systems of the per unit impedance diagram. This one is actually a reactance diagram, and this is also a equivalent per unit representations of the single line diagram. So the next, this one is another example. Actually in this example we have what are the components: generator 1, transformer 2, generator 2, motor, and static load. So all these components are interconnected, and it is shown with a simplified diagram which is called a single line diagram. Here the generator is actually a Y type and it is reactor grounded. Here the transformer side, primary secondary side are neutrally grounded. And here for transformer 2, transformer 1 it is actually neutrally grounded, and transformer 2 the primary side is neutrally grounded, secondary side it is represented with delta connector. Here the generator 2 is neutrally grounded. Motor is reactor grounded. And we have two types of load, that is static and dynamic load, and this symbol represents the static load. So its output values are expressed in terms of milliwatt power, kilovolt voltage, and power factor PF. So altogether we have 8 circuit breakers in this circuit diagram, single line diagram. So CB1, CB2, CB3, CB4, CB5, CB6, CB7 and CB8 circuit breaker to protect the entire equipments. The next one, this is the equivalent impedance diagram for the previously seen single line diagram. So first one, generator. We know the generator should be represented with the EMF along with the reactance. So next one is transformer prime, that is sending in transformer. So the central port is transmission line. It is actually a pi form representations. This one is a receiver side transformer. So next one is generator 2, that is EMF along with the reactance, impedance, and motor EMF along with the impedance value, and the last one is static load representation. So in case of reactance diagram, the load should be eliminated. There are certain assumptions that resistance should be neglected. So in this, throughout this reactance diagram, the resistance value is neglected for each component representation, and load should also be neglected. So this is the basic representations, and all other components are represented like this. Here the capacitance which we have denoted for transmission line, for pi type transmission line, in the impedance diagram should also be eliminated in case of reactance diagram. So this one is, first part is actually a generator representation, symbol for generator representations, that is EMF along with the reactor. Next one is transmission line reactor. So central port transmission transformer XT1 means transformer reactance representations, and XT2 is transformer reactance representations and transmission line reactance. This one is EMF of the generator 2 along with the reactance. Next one is motor EMF along with the reactance. So this is the single phase systems per unit formula. So base current I is equal to, we generally know that P divided by V. So P is expressed in terms of base value, MVA divided by kilovolt. So as we have seen earlier that actual per unit value should be equal to actual value divided by base value. So in the power systems, each component can be represented with the various value and will be getting confusion while doing analysis. So in order to simplify that, we should choose one value, common value, the reference value, that is called as a base value. So for the entire power system representations, we must select one value, base value, common value, reference value. So by the formula, we can mention three formulas here. The base current I is equal to P divided by V, in which P is expressed in terms of base MVA, and voltage means base kilovolt. Then base impedance Z is equal to V by I. So V means base kilovolt and I means base kiloamps, in which I should be represented as base MVA divided by base kV. Therefore, the final formula base impedance Z is equal to kVb square divided by base MVA. So this is the per unit impedance of a circuit element. We know that any quantity of per unit way we have to express as actual impedance divided by base impedance. Per unit current of circuit element means actual current divided by base current. Per unit voltage of circuit element means actual voltage divided by base voltage. So this formula, impedance of a circuit element in per unit is equal to actual impedance, which should be expressed in terms of ohm, into base MVA divided by base kV square. So this is the three-phase systems per unit formula. Here the line voltage should be equal to √3 times the base voltage. That is expressed in terms of base voltage per phase is equal to base kilovolt line to line divided by √3. Second one, base current per phase I is equal to P divided by V, and its equivalent formula base MVA for 3 phase divided by 3 divided by base kilovolt divided by √3. So final formula base current is equal to base MVA 3 phase divided by √3 into base kilovolt. This base kilovolt should be a line to line voltage. So next slide, base impedance per phase. Z is equal to V divided by I. That is the general formula. So V should be represented as base voltage per phase divided by base current per phase. So base voltage means base kilovolt line to line divided by √3 divided by current, this current I is equal to base MVA divided by root 3 into base kilovolt line to line. So the final base impedance per phase is equal to base kilovolt line to line square divided by base MVA 3 phase. So this is impedance in per unit formula. Actual impedance is Z in ohms into base MVA 3 phase divided by base kilovolt line to line the whole square. So next one is per unit calculations when change of base happens. So Z per unit given is equal to, by formula we know that actual value divided by Z actual divided by Z base. And this base value Z base should be, we know that in the previous slide we know that. So Z base, from this Z base formula we have to substitute here. Okay, so the when expressed to the, this is actually given means the value given in the problem, and when expressed to new base means we have to find out Z per unit nu is equal to, so the previous formula where we have find the given should be replaced by the new value. Now this first one becomes equation 2 and this second one becomes the equation 3. Then dividing equation 3 by 2, the final formula. Actually, this formula we are going to solve in the entire problem. So, Z per unit nu is equal to Z per unit given into base kilovolt given divided by base kilovolt nu the whole square into base MVA nu divided by base MVA given. The next one. So, this one is actually when the transformer, we have two side low voltage side and high voltage side. So base kilovolt on low voltage side should be expressed by using the formula base kilovolt on high transformer side into low transformer voltage rating divided by high transformer voltage rating. Base kilovolt on high transformer side of transformer T1 is equal to base kilovolt on low transformer side into high transformer voltage rating divided by low transformer voltage rating. So this is the simple problem. Actually, the statement of the problem is a single phase transformer is rated at 110 bar 440 volt, 2.5 kVA and its leakage reactance measured from low tension side is 0.06 ohm. So determine the leakage reactance in per unit. So actually in the problem, what is the value given? Voltage ratings 110 bar 440 volt, power rating is 2.5 kVA and its leakage reactance measured from the low transformer side is 0.06 ohm. So we must determine the leakage reactance in per unit. So the given actual leakage reactance is 0.06 ohm. Okay, so the basic formula base impedance or reactance is equal to base kV the whole square divided by base MVA. This is by the formula we know. And the voltage value also given, but why we are substituting into 10 power minus 3 is the voltage given in the problem is actually volt, but we have to express in terms of kilovolt. So that's what we have represented this low voltage side 110 into 10 power minus 3 the whole square. And base MVA, base should be expressed, power should be in terms of MVA, and the value given in the question is in terms of kilovolt amps. Okay, so 2.5 into 10 power minus 3 we have to represent in the denominator. So by solving on dividing this, we'll get the value as 4.84 ohm, that is actual base impedance or reactance by the formula. Next one is per unit leakage reactance formula is actual reactance divided by base reactance. So actual reactance value is 0.06. Base reactance value is 4.84. So on dividing these both values, we'll get the value resultant as 0.0124 per unit. Next, coming to problem 2, the generator 1, generator 2, generator 3. For all these three generators, the power value, voltage value, reactance value. Power value in terms of MVA. Voltage value actually it is given in kilovolt only, that is 33 kilovolt. And reactance is in terms of percentage. FME always we have to mention power value in terms of MVA, voltage value in terms of kilovolt, and the reactance value should be expressed in terms of percentage. So all these units are given correctly in the question itself. And determine the new per unit reactance of generator corresponding to the base value. Base value, power and voltage is given. So we have to take this base value as base MVA new and base kV new. This base MVA new and base kV new, both the values are given. So the reactance of the generator 1. So reactance of the generator 1. So the values are given. Power value, voltage value and reactance value are given here. So reactance value, given value 10 percentage. So per unit how we can write 0.1 per unit. And in the question MVA given is 100 MVA. Question MVA given is 100 MVA. Okay, so new value is given in the question as 200 MVA. And kilovolt given as in terms of 33 kilovolt for generator 1, and that value is taken as a given value, kilovolt given. And we know the base value is from the question, from the last statement of the question, base value is 33 kilovolt, which is called as kV new, 35 kilovolt. Then we know the general formula, this Z per unit new is equal to Z per unit given into base kilovolt given divided by base kilovolt new the whole square into base MVA new divided by base MVA given. So by using this formula and also by substituting all these values here, we'll get the final Z per unit new value is equal to 0.178 per unit. So next one is reactance of generator 2. This one also the values are given in the question itself. The same procedure we have to follow, and we have to substitute the given values in this formula so that the final value is 0.089 per unit. Next, the same thing for reactance of generator 3 by using the formula. The values are given correctly with the appropriate units. So just we have to take and simplify in this formula, and we have to write the final value in terms of per unit. So coming to problem 3, here also we have 5 components: generator, motor, transformer 1, transformer 2 and load. So all these values are given, and in transformer 1 we have primary and secondary side, both the sides are Y connected transformer. Whereas in transformer 2 we have primary side as del 11 del kilovolt and secondary side 220 Y kilovolt. Next for load we have 11 kilovolt 50 megawatt plus J68 MVAR. So the load I already told it should be expressed in terms of S equal to P plus JQ. So load when the it should be expressed in terms of load value should be expressed in terms of P plus J into Q. Its unit is MVAR. Okay. So here draw the per unit reactance diagram for the power systems shown in the figure. Given neglect the resistance means reactance diagram, the assumption is we must neglect the resistance, and the base value we have to take it as a considered as a new value. So base new power value 100 MVA and base new kilovolt 220 kilovolt in a 50 ohm line. So impedance value is 50 ohm. The ratings of the transformer, generator, motors are as given. So determine the new per unit values of reactance of the transmission line, new values per unit reactance of transformer 1, generator G, transformer 2, motor. All the values are given. So this is the single line diagram. So here generator side, motor side, transformer side, the values of the transmission line also the impedance value is given as J50 ohm. Then we have to substitute the formula. First we have to write the solution. First given thing we have to write. What are the given values in the question? Next per unit reactance of that, first we are going to take the transmission line. So in the question they have given us 50 ohm. So we have to write the actual reactance value as 50 ohm. But we don't know the base reactance value. So base reactance equal to KVB square divided by MVA. So both the values also given in the question. So we can take directly. The KVA new is 220 and MVA is 100. So both the values are taken and substituted directly. We'll get the value as 484 ohms. So this one is per unit reactance of the transmission line. This is actual divided by base. 50 divided by 485 should be value is expressed as 0.1033 per unit. So next one is reactance of transformer T1 on primary side. This one is also for transformer we are taking the primary side. So primary side actually we have voltage ratings differ. So base for fixing the equal value there is a formula, base kilovolt on low tension low transformer side of transformer T1. So base, what is the base kilovolt on high tension side? It is 220 into low tension, low transformer voltage rating is 33 divided by high transformer voltage rating is 220. So almost we'll get the final value is 33 kilovolt, and this value should be substituted in the formula. So x per unit nu is equal to 0.15 into 33 divided by 33 the whole square into 400 divided by 40. So our final value is 0.375 per unit. So next one is reactance of generator. So all the values are given directly. So we need not go for any for simplifications. Directly we will take the values from the problem and we have to substitute. We will get the final value. Next, reactance of transformer 2. For primary side, the same formula we have to use it. We have to use the same formula. And then base kilovolt on high transformer side into low transformer voltage rating divided by high transformer voltage rating. So all the values are given directly and it is substituted here to find out the base kilovolt as 11 kilovolt and its per unit value is 0.5 per unit. So after getting this, after calculating the base kilovolt on low transformer side of the transformer T1, so after getting this, we must substitute in the formula and we will get the value as 0.5 per unit. Then reactance of the motor. So reactance of the motor, all the values are given in the question. So directly we must take and substitute in the formula. So our final value is 0.6 per unit. So altogether all the values we have calculated. So the resultant equivalent reactance diagram, the power system is drawn and its values are marked in terms of impedance, ohm value. Here we will be finding out 0.6 all the values per unit. But we have to mark all the values, represent all the values, parameters, all the parameters value in terms of ohm. So this problem is actually a homework problem. So here also the generator G1, G2, G3 is ratings are given. If the correct with the correct units, and transformer T1 also given value, and transformer T2 alone 3 single phase. So we must multiply the ratings into 3 and we must divide by root 3 in order to convert single phase to the 3 phase. Next, reactor value 10%. So T3, transformer T3 ratings are also given here. So all the values are given here and this one is a single line diagram. So here we have three components, generator 1, generator 2, generator 3. We have 3 transformer, transformer 1, transformer 2 and transformer 3. So all are represented, primary side del transformer, secondary side star transformer and it is grounded, primary side star transformer, secondary side star transformer grounded. So all this representations are shown clearly in the single line diagram. Line 1 impedance value is 80 ohm and line 2 impedance value is 100 ohm. So here by using the same formula we are going to substitute. So generator 1 directly all the parameters are given with the correct units. So directly we must take and substitute in the formula. We will get the value as 0.5 per unit. For transformer 1 on primary side also the values are given directly. So by substituting this we will get 0.2 per unit. Then for transmission line actual value is given but we have to find the base value. For that we must fix the base kilovolt on both the primary and secondary side. So for that the formula is there. So we have taken and calculated. So our value base kilovolt on high transformer side T1 should be equal to 220 kilovolt. So base impedance equal to KVB nu the whole square divided by MVAB nu. So we must substitute in the formula and we will get 968 ohm. So after calculating the base reactance, we must substitute in the formula. Per unit reactance of the transmission line is equal to actual reactance divided by base reactance. We will get the value in terms of per unit. So next one is reactance of the transmission line 100 ohm. So per unit reactance of the transmission line is equal to actual reactance in ohm divided by base reactance for 100 ohm. Then the same base kilovolt for the transformer we have to fix by using the formula. Base kilovolt on low transformer side into high transformer voltage rating divided by low transformer voltage rating. So we'll fix the value and we'll get 220 kilovolt. Next, base impedance formula we know. Then after calculating this, we must substitute in the reactance of the transmission line. Then for transformer 2 primary side, this is actually star delta connection. So the voltage rating we must multiply into root 3. So after multiplying it, we have to substitute in the formula and we'll get the value. Next, for generator 2, actually values are given directly. We must calculate by using the formula. Next, for transformer 2 base kilovolt, we have to fix. For that, we are using this formula. We are finding out the kilovolt. Then we are going to find the reactance of the generator 2. Why? Because in this generator 2, in this picture, see here in generator 2, we have delta on star connected grounded. Okay, so delta on star connected grounded means the base value will be getting varied, because for a transmission line 1 the impedance is 80 ohm, for the transmission line 2 the impedance is 100 ohm, so the transformer ratio will be getting varied. So for that purpose, while calculating the reactance of transformer 2, okay, so while calculating the reactance of the transformer 2, we must substitute here in the values. Next, for reactance of generator 2 also we must substitute directly in the formula. Next, reactance of transformer T3. So transformer T3, all the values are given, and here for transformer T3, you see in the circuit diagram here, both are star connected, so we need not go for transformation. Directly we substitute the formula, values in the formula, will get the answer, transformer 3. And for reactance of generator G3 also, the values are given and substituted, will get the final value in terms of per unit. So all the values are expressed here, generator 1, generator 2, generator 3, all the reactants are represented. Thank you.